Oh no, what has he done? Okay, so this video is going to be slightly longer. We're going to show you how to build your own preset, okay? I'm not going to show you what I've done with mine. We're just going to go for a completely new one. So, back to the camera in the sky. We are going to go to a blank one. So, any of these, just so you know, that say, it's GP200, they're blank, all right? So, let's go to A first.
That doesn't sound very blank.
That wasn't blank. Try that one.
Yeah. Cool.
We're on a blank one. Okay, so let's show you how to do this. So all of these now, so 35A, B, C, and D are all blanks. There's nothing on them, okay? What we're going to do is literally start from scratch. So if we press the parameter button here, click that in, you're going to see a signal chain. What I will ask all of you to do is to not change the order of this signal chain because it just makes life hard for everyone. All right. This works. It works perfectly fine. You're never really going to need to change it unless you have some absolutely crazy ideas about tones that you want to do. But if you do, come and see one of us and then we'll obviously put it on a new patch and help you do it. Okay. So first of all, what we want to do is an amp. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if we move this along to where it says amp, all of these are quite dark, which means that they're off. Okay. Now I've actually just kind of said, move that along to where you want. What you've got here are buttons that correspond to all of these blocks. Okay. So you got your pre, wah, distortion, amp, noise reduction, cab, EQ, modulation, delay, and reverb. Another reason why I'm saying don't change the order of this is because you obviously can't change the order of these buttons. All right. So if all these are in a different order, it's not going to be in the same order as these. All right. So what we can do is, so if we're just back to how it was, click on the amp button there, and it will bring up all your amps. All right. Now we've got absolute tons of them. We've got, I don't know, I'd probably say close to 50 or 60 different amps here. So, Kai, what sort of amp do you want?
I would like a high gain Eddie Van Halen bass sort of amp.
Ooh,
like a PV 5150, something like that.
So, what we're going to have to do, like the HX Stomps, again, if you're used to them, it's a lot of guesswork. So, obviously, other companies can't use other companies' names for things, right? So they've named them slightly different things. So if you want a Soldano SLO 100, right, on here it's called a Solo 100. I think that's the same as the HX Stomp. I think they call it a Solo 100 as well. So it's a little bit of guesswork, okay? UK stuff like UK 800, that's going to be a Marshall...
JCM 800.
That's the one. Same again, UK 900. So let's find something that looks like an EVH, or here we go. Right, so an EVH 5150 is called EV51. Nice and simple. Let's click that in. Okay, so there's that. Now, if Kai plays, you'll hear something. No, hang on, just play. It's not what you want. That doesn't sound like the amp. So if you click it and you go in, well, hang on, that's not worked. It's because you haven't turned it on. So you're going to have to press the button again to turn that on. Now this is going to be absolutely horrendous. Play. Oh,
what a tone.
Please stop that. So what we need to do then is choose a cab. All right. Now the beauty about this, turn it on, it chooses the cab for you. So once you've chosen what amp you want, the cab block instantly goes, okay, we need this cab. All right. So for any of you that don't know, the cab is the speakers of an amp. Okay. So it's gone straight to EV, which is an EVH cab. All right. So if we play now, there we go. Nice high gain Eddie Van Halen-ish tone. All right. So we've got that. We've got our amp sorted. Job done. Now what you can hear in the background is a bit of noise, right? So what we need in between these, where it says NR here, that means noise reduction. Noise reduction, noise gate, same sort of thing. We turn that on. We get rid of it. If Kai plays, Now it's sort of kicking in and out. You can hear that. So what you need to do here on the threshold is just turn that up. I always need to have things on an even number. I can't leave them on an odd number. So if we take that up to 30, if Kai plays again. There we go. Much smoother. You can't really hear that noise gate working. So that's fine. Right, now I'll show you something that I quite like to do to get a bit of a, for all you metalheads out there, to get a bit of a tighter tone, right? If we go to the amp block, you see here we've got different parameters, okay? And if we click the parameter button, it takes you to even more, right? So what I want to do is take that gain down, right? We've got too much amp gain. Now I can already hear you all going, why is he turning the gain down? Stop that right now! Okay, here's why I'm turning the amp gain down. So if Kai plays just for a second. Alright, we've still got a little bit of gain there. I'm going to go over to the distortion patch. And then I'm going to put green. It says green OD there, right? Let's have a bit of that. Turn it on. Alright, and then we're going to do the usual gain all the way down. Volume all the way up. Let's turn the tone up a little bit. So now if Kai plays. So I'm hoping you can hear that. It's tightened the tone up. We've now got a fairly metally tone, okay? So again, the distortions, we've got loads of them. We've got a green OD, which is a tube screamer. We've got an OD9, which is the TS9 tube screamer. So we've got two different types of tube screamers in here. Yellow OD, which is the Boss
Super Overdrive.
Super Overdrive, that's the one. We've got so many. Scream OD, it's another tube screamer. Got a Blues Overdrive. There's hundreds. You know, for the money that we paid for these, you're getting so much ridiculously good stuff. It's unbelievable. So, there we go. We've got a nice metal amp now, okay? So, what we can do, if we press this pre button here, we've got sort of preamp style pedals, okay? Which also has more gain pedals in them. But it also has compressors, all of that stuff. You've got an acoustic simulator, which I might show you in a minute. Loads and loads of stuff, okay? We've got harmonizers and all sorts of things. Here we've got wah pedals. So again, like I showed you earlier, if you press that down, I'll do... Blimey that! Still hasn't done it. There we go, it's on now. We can choose different wah pedals. So if Kai plays, I'll run through them. It even has a whammy on there. All right. So I think that's actually really cool. I love that.
Yeah, it's sick.
Oh my God. Yeah, we'll cut that bit out. So over here, after your amp blocks, we've got an EQ. So there's still a few EQs there, guitar EQs, bass EQs. That's something I'd like to point out, actually. This isn't just for guitar. Bassists can use these as well, and it's really, really good. Got modulation, which is all your chorus stuff. Your, I don't know what that is. Jet. I'm not sure.
I'm sure it's kind of flanger.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's got flangers, vibratos, roto cabs, phasers, all sorts of stuff. Auto swell, bit crusher. That's really cool. And it also has like hold and freeze stuff as well. So it's I won't show you, but it'll hold a note that you play when you turn it on, and then you can just solo over that note. All right, there we go. There's that. Delay going towards the end. Got lots of different delays, so I'm going to go for my favorite one, which is a tape delay. So choose that, turn it on. and it lasts forever. If that's too long for you, turn the feedback down. Okay, so that's the feedback is basically how long that delay lasts for. All right, and then your mix, how loud you want that delay over your dry guitar signal, and then trails. If we turn that on, the trail of the delay will stay when you turn the guitar down, or if you change patches, all of that sort of stuff. Okay, so I'd always recommend having the trail on. Sync as well. If we turn that on, that now should hopefully it works now. Okay, so that sync there needs to be on for your tap tempo to work. All right, leave that on there. And then last but not least, we've got reverbs, loads of them: room, hall, church, plate, spring, tube, studio, loads of different ones. All right, and we got a shimmer as well. That's lovely, that one. So if we turn that on, nice. I think that works better with clean tones, but you get the idea. All right, so now we've done that, we can press save. Okay, choose where we are. So we're in 35A. Press save again. Now we can rename it. So if we do a little Benny Hill sort of thing whilst I'm renaming it. Okay, now we've renamed it. We press save again. There we go. This patch now came on soon for Kai Mason. So now what we want to do, if we want to get like some sort of gig patch on here, so we've got A and then B, it just goes back to, it's GP200. Oh no, what are we going to do? Okay, so we've got our nice gain tone there. If we go to save again, and then use our parameter to go one across, all right, 35B, we're now going to press save, and that's going to save it on the same tone on A and B, okay? So now, I'm not going to rename this one, so KT's GP200. That's what we're going to name it. So press save. There we go. So now we've got the same tone on A and B. But obviously we want something slightly different, okay? So if we want B to have maybe a modulation on it, so we're going to go for, I want to find out what jet is. So I'm going to turn jet on, turn modulation on. If you...
Very Eddie Van Halen.
Very Eddie Van Halen. So if we press save, and again, we've now got our main bass tone on A, and then on B. There we go. Job done. So you can start building your gig presets like that. Okay, so you just copy them, save, and then copy that over and over and over again, and then you've got consistency. You've got the same tone throughout, just with different effects on them. All right. So now one last thing, what we're going to do, we're going to go back into here. Let me just show you this really quickly. So if we want, for instance, the distortion pedal to turn on and off with the control foot switch, we need to go up to where it says patch settings up here. Okay, click that. Then we want to go down to control settings. Click that again. And then if we stay on here where it says control 1, because we don't want to worry about 2 to 8 just for the minute, go over to the distortion, press that. Now it's got a tick on it. So we can come back again. Now when we press control, distortion turns off. Press control again, distortion turns on. What you can do, if you really want to, go to control settings again, stay on control 1. We can turn off and on as many of these as we want. Okay, so we've got distortion, noise reduction, modulation, delay, and reverb all on that. Okay, so if we come back, press control, it's the end of the video anyway, so you get the idea. All right, so that's turning on and off all of those. All right, see you in the next one.